Yes. Thank you everyone for coming out during spring break. Tantalizing and amazing time. I am fully aware that y'all really didn't come for me. Y'all came for Dunia. So let me begin with an introduction of Dunia. Then I've got only a few short comments. Larry threatened me and told me to be brief, and so I have to listen to whatever Larry tells me. And so just a brief introduction of Dunia that you've read, but maybe some personal antics too. We were in class together. So, but then just some short comments, mostly reflective as an individual Christian interacting with Muslims in the world. So no grand scheme of metaphysical contemplation about none of that, not today. Well, maybe, who knows. Dunia was born and raised in I can never say the state, Massachusetts. She's currently a full-time mother of 3 children and a part-time student at CST, studying interfaith chaplaincy. And it's so good to see so many interfaith chaplains and interfaith chaplaincy students here, which is wonderful. She and her husband, Omar, founded an organization called Impact Southern California. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we have our conversation. She's an active member of Middle Ground Muslim Center in Upland, and she lives in Claremont. Please, before that. We were in a class together with Dr. Koja, who's one of the great professors across the street. If you don't get a chance, if you get a chance to take a class with Dr. Ashgur Koja, I would encourage you to do so. Retired clergy, we want to audit a class with Ashgur Koja. I recommend it. He's one of our finest profs over there. Well, anyway, at the beginning, the first thing is most of the Muslim students thought I was Muslim. Maybe it was the beard, maybe it was the Puerto Rican look. Puerto Ricans during 9/11 also got randomly selected many times, and that's true, not just a joke. But I think I opened my mouth and about 3 minutes into it, they're like, oh wait, he's not. But as we go on, personalities in the room start to emerge, and we eventually started calling Dunia Dr. Ramadan. She took it as an affirmation and said, please, no, not me, at the same time. But it just spoke to her depth and her wisdom, her insight, her willingness to challenge our preconceived notions, and yet do it in a loving way that seeks further relationship. And so when I was thinking about this program, it was just going to be me, which would have been not as good of a program. And I said, you know what, if we're doing Muslim as our neighbor, I can't speak for Muslims. I can't. And truth be told, as we'll find out, Dunia can't speak for all Muslims, but she can speak as somebody who claims that faith. And so she came to mind, and then I reached out to her. I think she liked something that my wife liked, and I said, okay, here's my way in. And I said, hey, maybe you should think about doing this. And so glad you said yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Now let us give a warm welcome to Dunia.
Thank you.
I'd like to begin with 2 sacred scriptures, one from our Christian scriptures and one from the Holy Quran. And these are both that I think for me speak profoundly to our interfaith work. One comes from the 3rd surah, and I'll share a document that I'm willing to give you by email if you want copies of. A document that inspired Muslim leaders from around the world many years ago to write an open letter to Christians. It's called A Common Word. A Common Word document. You can go to acommonword.com, commonword.org. I think both of those will get you there. And they got a common word from this wonderful verse from the Holy Quran. O people of the book, O people of the scriptures, come to a common word between us and you, that we shall worship none but God, that we shall ascribe no partner unto him, and that none of us shall take others for lords besides God. And if they turn away, then say, bear witness that we are they who have surrendered unto him. And then one from the Apostle Paul. Now the Apostle Paul, most Muslim scholars have a squeamish relationship with the apostle, as do many Christians nowadays. So maybe that's a common place to meet. Let's just beat up on Paul together. Nevertheless, I like Paul, and I think Paul has profound mystical wisdom to offer us. If you read him as a mystic, I think Paul opens up to us. And this is one of his most mystical passages. It's right there. Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence and if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Amen. The Christian-Muslim neighborly relationships have been going on for a very long time. Part of the modern rhetoric today is to assume that this is new and that this is a clash. I think it was Sam Huntington, is that his name? Was the first to come up with the idea of clash of civilizations. Homogenizing one group here in the West, homogenizing one group in the Middle East, in North Africa and into Asia, and saying that the world is coming to a clash between these two generations. Yet without knowing that throughout the histories of Islam and Christianity, we have danced together, thought together, read together, fought together. The earliest Christians, when the prophet was traveling through Syria, he encountered several monks who acknowledged him as a prophet. Christian monks. Now we miss that side of the story because you have to go back to the fact that many of the Syrian Christians were not recognized as Orthodox Christians by not just Rome, but by Eastern Orthodoxy. What we now call the churches of the East, the Assyrian churches based in Iraq, the Malankara churches based in India. All that eastern slice of Christianity interacted very early with Islam and interacted in very favorable ways. The earliest sources of Islam guaranteed the rights for Jews and Christians to not only exist, but to practice their faith genuinely. That continues in most countries with majority Muslim rule. Most countries, even countries that are demonized by the North Atlantic. By North Atlantic, I mean European countries and the Northern Hemisphere. Iran and its parliament makes place for both Jews and Christian representatives to this day. Alcohol is prohibited in Islam, but the Jews are allowed to get wine for all their ceremonies, all their Sabbaths, all their high holidays. Early on, Muslims have been neighborly to us. The Medina document, put together by the Prophet himself, assured that not just Christians and Jews, but all other folks who were in Medina had not only the right to exist, but the right to operate out of their own stated values and beliefs. I think it's important to know that that has been the relationship. Now, has there been battles? Yes. And a lot of people in the far right love to claim that these battles point to a bloodthirsty, bellicose religion seeking to annihilate all other faiths. Yet when you look at the historical sources, that's not exactly accurate. The truth is there was war before Islam arose. There was uncertainty. The truth is there were Arab Christians who marched with the Prophet. And when you talk about, oh, they looted this, well, Christians and Muslims fought on one side, and others fought against others. But that's not the whole story. The whole story has been one of neighborly receptivity to Christians and to Jews and to others. One of my favorite parts of Islamic history / Christian history is the rise of the city of Baghdad. Now, we're in a university town, and we love to claim our heritage from the University of Paris. We love to say that the university, the idea of the university as such, is a European Western value. Actually, the first university was Baghdad. And in that university, Muslims, Christians, and Jews worked alongside, studying Greek texts, translating Greek texts, and thinking about faith jointly. It's always scary to make sweeping claims, because when you sweep claims, you tend to sweep under the rug accidentally. But I'm going to make a sweeping claim. And that is, wherever there was interfaith contact, you also find some of the best theology, spiritual writings, and liturgy being developed. When you think of the giants of Islam, Ghazali's it. When you think of Aquinas, when you think of the Muslim philosopher and jurisprudential scholar Averroes, they were all living in pluralistic context. And it was in the sharing and giving, in the push and the hustle, in the hard debate. It wasn't that they were like, oh, we all believe the same stuff, let's hug it out and sing songs. There was rigorous debate. But out of that, each faith benefited from a deepening understanding of who they were. So in many ways, the university in Paris is not the origin of the university. I like to say that what happened was that Baghdad moved west. And it's the Baghdad legacy that gave us what we now consider the university. A lot of ultra-conservative Christians, or at least traditionalist Christians, like to claim Augustine as the doctor of the church, particularly in the Catholic Church. You hear that. What people don't know is that Augustine was accused of not being Christian enough.